Well, good morning. As you can see, I've got quite the mess here. I was running the loader on an area with a lot of rocks and popped the chain. So my original plan was to actually jack up the back of the loader and get that sprocket seated in the chain and then get that chain pulled over the sprocket. And then that way I could try to back the loader up and pull the chain back on. But while we were looking at things, we noticed that the master pin on the track is actually backed out quite a bit. So the current plan is to go ahead and pull that out the rest of the way. I'll fold the track over, drive backwards on it to get it all situated, and then fold the chain back over and reconnect it. Sounds real simple, but it's not, so we'll see how it goes. So here's part of the problem. If we pull that master pin and fold the track over, I don't have another piece of equipment to lift the track back on. And I don't know anybody that does that can get their equipment where we're stuck. It would have to be another tracked vehicle. A wheeled vehicle can't make it over here. So I might go back to the original plan of just getting the sprocket situated, and then plan B will be remove this master pin. Well, that's not what I was trying to have happen. See, this is what gets tough. Going to plan B already?
How heavy is it?
Very. Thing is, I will need to get a block of wood under there. So I've never pulled a pin before, so I don't have the proper tools to do it. But I gotta make do with what I've got. I'm new to heavy equipment, and it's not a lot of fun working on a 50-year-old loader, but see what we can do. Feels loose, like I might be able to wiggle it out. Does it look like I've wiggled it out anymore?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's coming out. See, it just takes some. And a chiropractor. Alright, so here's another thing I've never done. I've never tried to back something onto a track. And what we have to do is get that sprocket correctly in the chain on the track, but also the rollers. If you look down right there, the rollers are on the opposite side of the chain. That one completely, and this one too. And then the back three are partway on. All right, what I'm gonna have to do, since these rollers are halfway off, is I gotta find a way to back on and get the rollers on. And what I might have to do is use the front end loader and push the front of the loader up, and use a little bit of right track to turn it to get it on there. But I don't know. This is all just what I think should happen. I don't have any experience with this. Watched a few YouTube videos, but there's not a lot on it. But understanding how this machine works, I think I just need to get that sprocket in and then tweak it a little bit and get it on the chain. And then I'm gonna have to get the loader centered on the chain and the track, so that I can fold it back over and put that pin in. If I had a chain binder or a winch, I could do this, but I'm gonna have to try to use a ratchet strap, pull that track over that way. Convenient that on the rollover protection they mounted this hook up there for when they put the rollover protection on at the shop, and they left it on there, so that's what I was able to hook onto. So here's the next problem to solve. We got the chain for the track on the sprocket. We've got the chain lined up on all the rollers. We've got to pull the front half of the track towards the back, but there's got to be enough slack that I can connect those links and get the pin in. If there's not enough slack, then I've got to pop the grease fitting off of that front idler pulley. I think that's what it's called. I got to pull the grease zerk off of there and compress that piston to give me more slack in the chain. I'm hoping I don't have to do that. Then I've got to retighten the chain and all that, but it's probably going to happen. Alright, I'm going to try to take some weight off the front of the loader, see if I can get some more slack in the chain. I need about 1.5 inches. Okay, at this point, I'm just going to take the grease fitting off and see if I can get this cylinder in. I really don't have another choice.
So I had to pop the grease zerk off, and as soon as I did that, it let all the pressure out of the cylinder and the chain dropped down. So now I've got enough slack to get this pin in. Just adding a little grease. And these pins are tapered. They only go in one way. The end with the dot is out. Now I thought they went in from the inside, but this one came out the opposite way. So we'll see if I can get this in. Alright, so I gotta go get the grease gun so I can get this track tightened up, and I think we can pull it out of here. The pin's not quite all the way through, but it's good enough. I think I can get it out of here.
Well, that was an adventure. So earlier, I was talking about how to tighten this chain. This is, I called it an idler pulley. It's a tensioner, I believe. And the way it works is you've got this grease fitting on this bolt, and this bolt, you know, has a hole through the middle of it. So you put grease in there, and when you put grease in there, it pushes this whole assembly this way, which tightens the track. Now, I say chain a lot in the video because this is the chain. That's the portion of the track. So you got the chain, and then you got the track pads. So in order to get some more slack in the chain and the track to put the pin back in, I had to remove this, and then it squirted a lot of the grease out. So what I'm doing now is I'm just cleaning this up. We got a bunch of rain last night, so everything's very muddy, and I don't want any of this getting down into that cylinder. Just want to keep it clean. So here in a second, I'm going to put this back in after I clean out a little bit of this dirt that got in here. Alright, that's good. And this goes right back in there, and it'll squirt a bunch of grease as I put this in. And then a deep well socket goes over the top of the grease zerk and the bolt. Now, I don't know the torque specs, probably just good enough, will work. So to tighten this track correctly, a pin needs to be over this roller right here, and we just so happen to have one on there. And then you put a flat board or a level from this roller to that wheel, and then as you pump in grease, the track will raise up as it tightens, and you want about an inch gap. And I think to begin with, I had over tightened it. That and the fact that that master pin was coming out, I noticed the last couple times I used the loader, this track seemed to want to pop off real easily. So we're going to go ahead and tighten it. So you can see we've got a lot of slack in the chain. I don't do this enough to get like an electric grease gun, so we're just going to use this manual grease gun. And as soon as we do that, we're going to clean up and pull the loader out of here. So you can already see the track moving. And if you look right here, you'll see this whole assembly is moving forward. It's sliding on this rail. All right, we're right about an inch. I'm gonna give it one more good squeeze. That'll be done. All right, there is a cap that goes on all this because you do not want dirt getting down in here. Of course, with a 50-year-old loader, there is dirt down in everywhere. Alrighty, she should be done. We're gonna clean up and get her out of here.